When I started to work in Heber about 35 years ago, there was no sidewalks. This was a small town.
One of the biggest issues around a desert community is dust, fugitive dust emissions. So that's just one small piece.
I was raised here and I walked to school. And every time there was rain, we knew it. We had to leave at least 30 minutes early, even though we were only 4 blocks away, because we had to run in and out of the streets. By the time we got to school, we were mud up to our knees.
And mud is tracked all over streets and sidewalks, and as soon as it dries, it's going to create flying dust.
As I grew older and I had my own children, I knew that I wanted them to grow up here because it's such a beautiful town and it's so united, but I wanted them to grow up with pride and dignity in their community. When the opportunity came for AB 617 and they told me we may be able to provide some sidewalks, I thought this is perfect.
We're one of the, pilot groups that are trying to see how community can engage and try to get it right.
We had all kinds of things and opportunities to come together and create a list of plans that will benefit the community.
I think it's important that we know where these emissions, dangerous levels of emissions are coming from, and then what can we do in order to reduce them.
We're really proud of this Greenery project. It's a corridor project, and various local agencies were able to maximize grant dollar opportunities. We work together to create a space. It uses a minimal amount of water. In education, we talk about whole child, but we also want to look at whole family and community impact. If we're able to save water, if we're able to reduce emissions, and if we're able to create a space where we can focus on our values, one of those being joy at Imperial County Office of Ed, then I think we've been successful.
One of the initiatives that we've taken in the corridor, improving the agricultural burning practices, we've made a new policy, and this policy requires farmers to be more proactive, and they've been very receptive to it. They have to look for days where kids are not in school, when there's not a big public event. One new thing of the policy is separating these fields that are traditionally 280-acre fields into small pieces. Since this policy has been in place, we've received very little complaints, and the smoke impacts to the community of Heber, Centro, Calexico has been very minimal.
Air filtration systems were also identified as a high priority for this community. Projects consist of installing air filtration systems with the MERV 16 rating at the local schools, especially the elementary schools. From personal experience coming from the Los Angeles area, I know that these type of projects might not be a priority to other places or locations within the state, but in Imperial County, it was identified as a high priority because it's a desert. It's a desert, dry region with a lot of dust.
An initiative that we took here is we started installing idling signs. Every school in Calexico, Heber, and El Centro now has no idling signs. Part of that effort also is educating the school bus drivers. In Calexico, Heber, and El Centro, they had a workshop reminding the bus drivers the impacts that they have to the community as they're operating their buses.
The Heber project, which is its groundbreaking effort, go a long way in trying to collaborate and coordinate funding in order to make it better for a community that historically has been, in my view, neglected.
A project like this it might seem very small, but particular matter, it contributes to asthma, breathing problems. This will really reduce the PM around the school for the residents and reduce their exposure.
Thank you everyone for being here. We welcome you to the Heber town site where kids are now going to have sidewalks to walk to school. The community is going to have sidewalks not to walk on the streets, and it's going to better the quality of life, and it's going to reduce the emissions, the dust emissions as well.
Today, it's an honor and a privilege to be invited to see Heber have some sidewalks.
here we are after 5-6 years, but it's being done. There have been some other sidewalks done, and I still have like people that grew up with me telling me, we need more, and you know how much they appreciate it. So I know that from our whole community, I can tell you, this is the most wonderful thing that has happened to Heber.